Welcome back, True Seeker. A lot of people have wanted me to cover more about the car accident involving the son of Gilbert Arenas, former NBA star, former Arizona Wildcat. His son now holds the record for Los Angeles high school basketball, the first player to score more than 3,000 points in a career at the high school level in the city of LA. Think about how impressive that is. Think about how many young men pass through Los Angeles basketball system. But after setting that record, tragedy has struck, supposedly in an accident in one of those piece of junk cyber trucks that's put him in a coma. And we're going to get to what's curious about the last game he played in his career where he was eliminated by Jesuit. And there's going to be a pattern here that's going to remind you of Kobe Bryant, who, of course, died at 41 on the 41st day of the Pope's age while traveling from Catholic Mass. There's also another pattern here that sticks with USC tragedy. We brought it up when Caleb Williams won the Heisman. If you forgot that piece, we'll bring it up because this young man was supposed to play at USC, and perhaps he will, but right now he's in a coma. At least that's the story. It reminds of how LeBron's son, when he was on his way to play at USC, had the heart problem. Former NBA players' sons having these tragic occurrences. But it says Elijah Arenas, a top basketball recruit for the University of Southern California, was involved in a serious car accident on Thursday. That was April 24th, 2025. Arenas, who is the son of former NBA star Gilbert Arenas, goes to Chatsworth High School and was the first high school boys basketball player in the Los Angeles area to reach 3,000 career points, the AP reported. The talented athlete played in the Division II state championships and earlier this month was chosen for the McDonald's All-American Games, which features the top 48 high school basketball players in the U.S. The 18-year-old committed to playing for the USC Trojans next season. What to know? Elijah Arenas was driving a Tesla Cybertruck in the Los Angeles area when he crashed into a tree and fire hydrant. Per ESPN's Shams Charania, how's that how you say it? Charania? I don't know how you say it. The teenager has been hospitalized and placed into an induced coma. Charania wrote on X, formerly Twitter. According to Sports Illustrated's Tarek Fatal, does anybody have a normal name anymore? He suffered no major bodily injuries. Elijah Arenas update. Arenas was in an accident driving a Cybertruck. It caught on fire and he inhaled a lot of smoke, like Snoop Dogg. According to sources, this was the reason for induced coma. Protocol for smoke inhalation. Arenas suffered no major bodily injuries. So again, just this junky vehicle, right? It's part of the story. Guy's not doing SS salutes. He's selling overpriced cars. But take a look at this. From Daddy's birthday, Papa Gilbert Arenas, from his birthday to this incident was the 109th day of his age. And of course, Los Angeles is 109, right? Los Angeles, the city where he was going to go to school, where he just set this high school record. And Papa's 43 years old right now. Gilbert's 43. And again, I just want to bring this back. We talked about this recently when Caleb Williams won the Heisman and Charles White died. Charles White had won the Heisman 43 years before Caleb Williams. Of course, USC is that 43 school. And again, notice their birthdays too for Caleb Williams and Charles White. Caleb Williams' birthday is November 18th, the day leaving 43 days left in the year. Of course, he became the big star at USC before he won the Heisman. Don't mind Sweet Girl in the background. She's having some fun with her toys. But yeah, USC, the big 43 school. In the case of football, football is also 43, like killing, like Masonic. And let's hope that nothing tragic happens further to Gilbert Arenas' son. It's hard to say how far they'll take this ritual. But voting began for the Heisman on December 10th, and Charles White died on January 11th. It's noteworthy because he died 32 days later, and USC Trojans is 32. You could also say it was a span of 33 days, and Heisman's 33. Again, these things aren't an accident. It's just ritual, par for the course. Stuff happens year after year. So I just want to go back and talk about that detail of what happened to Charles White 43 years after winning the Heisman for Caleb Williams. And now this USC related tragedy while Gilbert Arenas is age 43. But just in terms of news being contrived by the numbers, notice how Elijah Arenas equals 45 like Cybertruck. Remember, it's the year 2025. The number 2025 has a square root of 45. This year began with 3 big 45 stories on New Year's Day. The New Orleans story where the guy ran a truck into a crowd, killed people, and got in a gunfight with the police. New Orleans equals 45. Then you had the Cybertruck explode in front of Trump Tower, number 45 at the time. And again, Cybertruck 45. And then you had the shootout in Trump's neighborhood where he was born, Queens. And I want to say the club's name was Azamur. I know the name of the club equaled 45, but all those things to start 2025. Notice also how car accident is 45, and so is Chatsworth. And in case you're new here, this practice of coding numbers in words, it's elementary. I learned about this from a book that was written in 1926, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. There are 4 base ciphers of the English language. The alphabetic order. A is 1 to Z is 26. The alphabetic order with numerology. That's the one you're looking at right now. A is 1 up to Z is 26, but you're just applying numerology to each letter, as you can see. C is 3. A is 1. R is the 18th letter. The numerology at 18 is 1 plus 8 is 9. You can see it. A is 1. C is 3. C is 3. I is 9. D is 4. E is 5. N, the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 is 5. T, the 20th letter. 2 plus 0 is 2. Car accident 45, just like Chatsworth, just like Cybertruck, just like Elijah Arenas. And for the record, the word ritual is also 45, and no doubt that's what this really is. Elon Musk also equates to 43. Again, just because it's his vehicle, right? He's so front and center right now. Cybertruck getting a lot of negative press because it falls apart, because it's poorly built, because it's unsafe. And now this happens, right? That this is the press it's been getting, and now this happens to Gilbert Arenas' son in a Cybertruck. 43 is the 14th prime number, and coma equals 14. They're saying Gilbert's son is in a coma. And notice that Elijah Arenas, his last high school game was against Jesuit. Again, the Jesuits run the show. That game was on the Ides of March, very Roman day, just like the Jesuits are very Roman. From the Ides of March loss by Gilbert Arenas' son to the crash was a span of 41 days. Elijah 41, Arenas 41, LA 41. Again, the 4 base ciphers. Alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. Kobe Bryant equals 41. Again, dead at 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age, traveling from Catholic Mass. Dead on the first Jesuit Pope's 41st day of his age. Now, Elijah's career ends against Jesuit. LA 41. You run it the other way, LA's 13, reminding you of Gianna Bryant, age 13. Kobe, 41. Oakland, 41. They're from Oakland, California. Oakland, California. And his birthday's 3/16. Remember, that was part of what we used this year to call Florida to win the tournament before it began, because that's Tim Tebow Day, Mr. John 3/16. They put out the bracket on 3/16. That was another clue that Florida was going to take it on 4/7 in the Todd Golden ritual, paying tribute to the chump. And Todd Golden got his 133rd career win. President, White House, government, all equal 133 and 47. Did it on 4/7, representing Florida, where Trump spends the majority of his time, who said this is the golden age. All right, sweet girl. That's sweet girl saying it's time to wrap it up. But yeah, again, news by the numbers. NBA playoffs getting underway. Former NBA star has this happen to their son. We see the sacrifices every year. Start of the season, playoffs, championship. It's like clockwork. Again, I hope this story doesn't get worse. I'd like to see the next headline be that he pops out of the coma. But again, it's just like that preview they're putting in front of your face right now with him, right? You got to make the sacrifices if you want to be the top pick. It's like that song, Murder by Numbers, about killing's the sport of the elite. If you want to be the top of your profession, you got to give up some bodies. LeBron told that to J.J. Redick last year before he became the Lakers coach. They did the podcast, and LeBron said the secret to a long career is sacrificing your loved ones. Said it 2 times in the podcast. It's like they took that line right from his podcast and put it in the hymn trailer. But yeah, anyway, there are a few more things I could say about it, but not to go too far. These are the main points right here. Familiar pattern with USC. And again, just pay attention to these numbers and the way they rig the games. You'll spot the 43 in a lot of USC games, the way they play it off statistically. Records that teams become against USC, football, basketball, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Thanks again to everyone who's liking the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. And just remember, Gematria Effect Sports, my other channel, they got on lockdown. I can't make videos longer than 15 minutes. I can't live stream. I can't even post links to my channel. It took me out of commission over there. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time.